And they're off.
Just like
Jinx.
that. The 2022 Sunbelt Bakery Ironman 70.3 Championship here, the North American Championship presented by McKee, a family bakery, is underway, and you can see them, the arms and the legs just churning up the river right now. Indeed, it was a great start. They crept a little bit, but they were very well behaved.
Yes, they were well behaved, and we can see some groups forming now, although interestingly, we're not seeing the separation. Again, that's in part due to that current assist. I think we're going to see a slightly bunchier swim, but we've got 3 distinct packs lined up sort of side by side here. Bit of an advantage to those swimmers that typically would be further back. They're going to be maybe a little bit closer to the front. Of course, the current is pushing the fast swimmers faster as well, but I think it tends to give a bigger advantage to some of the weaker swimmers who I think are hoping to mitigate some of those gaps out of the Tennessee River here this morning.
Nice temperatures, 74 degrees in the water, not a problem at all. You saw the women, they were just waiting, you know, sitting on the dock there with their feet in the water, and you can see now just stretching it out, just really getting into it and navigating perfectly. Yeah, Ben Canute from the USA, you know, as we said in our pre-race show here, he is going to be one of those athletes to watch. He's always at the front end of the groups here, you know, whether it be the swim, the bike, or the run here, but very, very strong swimmer. Closing in on the finish line of the Roca swim course today, Ben Canute is just making his way toward that Veterans Bridge. Underneath they go, and then they will be making that left-hand turn into Ross's Landing.
So he's given himself a little bit of time. If he can be quick through transition, which again, coming from a short course background, an Olympian, he's going to have those good transitions. He's not going to wait around for those guys. I imagine they'll reel him in eventually with those kind of numbers in the men's chase pack, but right now he's got the lead all to himself.
This is amazing. I think that they've closed it down 5 meters or so.
Yep, they absolutely have, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's got to be 15 guys in that chase pack as they are going to sight that red buoy indicating time to make that turn and to the swim exit.
Swim exit coming up here in the Roca swim right here at the Sunbelt Bakery. Sunbelt Bakery Ironman North American Championship 70.3 here. What an incredible day. We're off to a great start in the Tennessee River as we head toward the end of the Roca swim course here. And we can see now, with the time ticking away, Ben Canute up in the lead here for quite some time. What a great swim as he exits the water here up toward the bike ride now. So the first discipline done in the North American Championship right here in Chattanooga.
Now he's going to get up on these stairs, take a look over his shoulder to see what his gap is, and then he is going to run like heck into transition. He doesn't want to give up any more time. There he goes over the shoulder. If you want to see how transitions are done, watch the short course athletes. Typically, those transitions in ITU racing are make or break, and they tend to carry that skill into their long course racing. And it's really, really important that those seconds absolutely matter as we look at our men's chase making their way out of the Tennessee River as well.
Ben Canute rolls that swim skin down. He is done. There's Rudy Von Berg in the green hat just coming through at the moment. There he goes, running up the stairs here. So he's already got the swimsuit down to the hips there. He's just sprinting into the transition area. Go through it as you see it, Dee. How important is it to get off to a clean start?
Oh, absolutely. Critically important. Ben Canute's got an easy job of it. He's got the transition to himself, but giving chase, Eric Lagerstrom in second place, as I suspected. We've got Brennan Smith in that group, Jason West, Luis Ortiz, Tim O'Donnell in sixth place, also a part of that chase pack, Rudy Von Berg in that chase pack, Stephen McKenna, Andre Lopez, and Marty Andre, all part of that chase pack. So a big group. We've got Jackson Laundrie at the very, very tail end of that chase pack. So we're looking at least... it just keeps going. Again, there's not huge gaps. So there's 15 guys all within 30 seconds of each other. Those are the guys that are going to have to be careful because there's going to be a lot of congestion as they make their way into transition. You got to make sure that you know where your bike is racked, and going to be a little bit of chaos as they establish order once they get out on the bike.
You can see in 17th and 16th, the Brazilian and the Argentine, Pimentel and Tacconi, both, the Olympic distance, specialists. Matt Hansen.
Exactly. So this is what we talked about. We talked about Matt Hansen not typically being a front pack swimmer, but because of that current assist, typically in a 70.3, he may be more than a minute to a minute and a half back from the lead pack. Now, because of that current, only 45 seconds. So that's why Ben Canute's in such an awful hurry as he makes his way onto the bike course here today.
Out onto the Full gas bike course here at the Chattanooga 70.3 North American Championship. We can see that we're off to a fantastic start here for Ben Canute. There he is. He's our leader in our men's pro division, leads Eric Lagerstrom. And then Smith in third place, Von Berg and Jason West. So a lot of our top athletes and favourites are right up at the pointy end of the field here at the Ironman 70.3 North American Championship from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
You know, she finds professional cyclists to train with. She runs with professional runners, and it's just elevated her as a triathlete to the next level.
Ben looking over the shoulder there. He's got a chase group that are trying to reel in the difference here, which was around about 30 seconds, leaving transition area there. But it looks like at this point in time that, he's still pedaling along nicely, and they're not really taking huge chunks of time out.
That big chase group, but it's a significant gap to the athletes behind him. So right now, Matt Hansen's stuck in no man's land. He's got to focus on the numbers, race his race. We know Matt Hansen, one of the best runners in our sport. So the fact that he's a minute down, that's not insurmountable for him. But he's got to keep the pedal on the gas, being out there all by himself.
What is even more amazing is Tim O'Donnell. He's such a great guy. He's an intense racer. He looks after his body. You know that he leaves no stone unturned. Didi, what a great interview, and it was just great to have him on board.
Oh, I think super important and great for athletes to know how important it is to know your family history. And while Ironman triathlon and 70.3 racing is great, and there's nothing better for the heart, you do have to be mindful and looking after yourself and watch those warning signs. As athletes, we tend to be bullheaded and say, oh, it's nothing. Sometimes it's not nothing, and that's important to know.
I love riding here. Look at Ben. He's down there in the easy gears, and now the pursuer, Rudy, as Rudy Von Berg, by the look of it, has really made a move on the front of this race.
Yeah, Rudy Von Berg attacked that little hill there. You can see it's a pretty punchy climb. He's up out of the saddle, trying to break away from the group of chasers, has overtaken Ben Canute. So that group it took a while, but that group of 14 did, in fact, reel in Ben Canute, and now the group grows by one, adding Ben Canute to the likes. But can these two work together now and break away from the rest of the chasers?
Jason West is a great runner as well, but don't forget about Jackson Laundry, who's coming off really good form, and there he is right on cue. That is Jackson Laundry right there from Canada, and he had that great victory down there over the double Olympic champion Alistair Brownlee, and Jackson Laundry just really took it to him in that second half of the run. Then it was Von Berg and Lionel Sanders to give us that thrilling finish, but Rudy Von Berg is up there in first place right now. You can see that in second is Ben Canute, riding legally there with Jackson Laundry right there as well. Tim O'Donnell's not going to be too far behind this group, and McKenna, Gillespie, Smith, West and Hansen, a lot of our champs right up there in the lead of this race.
Group, he was back 45 minutes from our leader out of the swim, lost another 15 seconds on this chase group, but made a big move between mile 10 and mile 28 to insert himself in this group. Again, Matt Hansen, one of the best runners of the sport, so eyes on him.
Looking at this, you can see that Eric is, looking in fine form, but there's the group that you can see from a long angle there.
Double of the Ironman for Ben Hoffman, Ironman Texas, Ironman World Championship St. George. Or you look at the likes of Matt Hansen, who raced at the Ironman World Championship 2 weeks ago and now has to raise the speed. I mean, it's one thing to go from Ironman to Ironman, but then to raise the power 20, 30 watts and to have that sort of zip in your legs 2 weeks after an Ironman and to be biking as well as he is, I think is super impressive.
Yeah, I'll get back to that, Didi, as we get another pass into the lead here. We can see that McKenna's now gone to the front, and look at this, just a little bit of exertion at the front of the course here and a little bit of interruption, a little bit of distraction. I think that the chase group has reacted there, and Tim O'Donnell goes into first place, but now the band is back together once again. You can see that the top 11 races are strung out in about 200 meters across the roads here in Tennessee. Getting hotter, and so is the race. On our men's side of things, we've got a little bit of action just off the front, trying to be split at the moment. Tim O'Donnell and Gillespie are trying to make their way into town with a little bit of a gap. This is McKenna. He's hanging on to third place. But
it was McKenna that sort of established the attack. He tried to go to the front, had Gillespie with him, Tio responded, as did the rest of the field, but Gillespie being very, very aggressive here on the bike.
Very aggressive on the bike here. He's going to overtake Tim O'Donnell. He's using the slingshot. Generally something that you're not supposed to do, but very narrow here coming back into Chattanooga as we...
Off the bike here in Chattanooga, he's with Dylan Gillespie, Jackson Laundry, Stephen McKenna, a very, very small gap to then Rudy Von Berg, Andre Lopez, Ben Canute, Eric Lagerstrom. A lot of great talent in this professional men's field today. It's going to get hot out here on the run. There's Matt Hansen in 10th place. Also a part of this group, about 15 seconds back. We see them all coming in now. Jason West, another one to keep your eye on. Eric Lagerstrom, again, this is such a talented field. I can't call who it's going to be on the day. Too much talent out there.
Tim O'Donnell, he heads out in first place there, and one of the athletes there just slamming down on the muscles there, and I think that was McKenna just whacking at his quadriceps, so he might be having some cramping issues there. We go through the Morton station. They're going to pick up their gels here in just a second and get that nutrition flowing as they head out onto the Hoka. It is time to fly. Run Australia, Stephen McKenna in third place, holding on to that third position there. But look at this, Rudy Von Berg right there. There goes McKenna right up onto the shoulder of Von Berg in the early stages of the run. So we expected it. Fast running.
Yep, taking a look here at the fastest combined transition times brought to you by Morton. So we look at our fastest transitions there. Tim O'Donnell at 2:47. Rudy Von Berg, total transition times 2:32. Stephen McKenna, total transition times 2:37. So thanks for
being overtaken once again, but I just think that this is patience. Rudy Von Berg might be a young champion, but he knows he's a smart racer. His father being a great racer for a long time in the age group racing here as well. But Jason West is the one that has really taken the race by the horns. He's gone to the front. Stephen McKenna in second place. They've caught the early leader on the run, which is Timothy O'Donnell, who's just running along at a very nice pace. And a really nice turnover right now, but
that's the big question for Matt Hansen.
I do think that Matt will make up a few more spots here, but I think patience is going to be the key right here. Let's just sum it up right now at, just a little bit shy of a mile into the run. We got Jason West leading the race right now from McKenna and O'Donnell. Lopez from Brazil, training in Boulder, Colorado, in fourth place. Great for South America there. Von Berg in fifth place. Lagerstrom and Laundry. Canute and Hansen all within 16 seconds. So the race is on. Within 20 seconds, we had 10 men. Shoulders, facing downward. And as they go through the Hoka, 6 mile marker right now, Jason West is on fire. He's running along at a 5:18 mile pace at the moment. Only Matty Hansen is within 7 seconds of those, average times at the moment. And then
I don't think Andre's going to be at all disappointed by that when you're shoulder to shoulder with Matt Hansen. Not many people come out on the right side of that, but he's tucking in right behind him, trying to use some of that draft, have Matt pull him along for as long as he can, so he can stay ahead of the guys to come, because the likes of Stephen McKenna, Jackson Laundry, Rudy Von Berg, Tim O'Donnell, all giving chase. So great effort from Andre Lopez.
Loops, and on the Veterans Bridge he goes. That's Matt Hansen in second place right now, getting after Jason West, who is holding down the fastest average mile times at the moment. He's running at about 5:18s, whereas Matty Hansen is running at about 5:20, 5:22. So it's going to be a very close race going into the second lap. But in third place right now, the young Brazilian is having a hard charge at the front, sitting in third place at this point in time. Stephen McKenna is now trying to hang in there, but he's getting a little bit winded as Jackson Laundry and Rudy Von Berg are keeping the pressure on in fifth and sixth position. So Jason's having a very, very good run. We knew that he was going to be one of the runners to look out for with Jackson Laundry and also, Matty Hansen. So they were the three that we were thinking that were going to be the fast runners today. So let's see. Lopez, he's still running at a pretty good speed here, but he's holding off Jackson Laundry right now.
Inch away, but Matt Hansen continuing to move away from the rest of the field. Andre Lopez through 9 miles now, 1:47 back. Andre's got to be careful if he wants to hold on to that podium, because Jackson Laundry just about 40 seconds back of Andre, along with Rudy Von Berg. And Jackson Laundry, not dissimilar to Oceanside from 6 weeks ago, running shoulder to shoulder in a race for the podium. So Jason West making his way towards the finish line. Matt Hansen 1 minute 6 seconds back. But at 2 minutes, 50 seconds back, Rudy Von Berg and Jackson Laundry have gone past Andre Lopez and are shoulder to shoulder in a
Celebratory mode.
He keeps looking over the shoulder, but I don't want him to trip. So eyes forward, Jason. Eyes forward onto the finish line. He's not coming for you. Acknowledging some friends and supporters out in the crowd, making his way to the finish line. Your Ironman 70.3 North American champion, Jason West.
So there you go, just over the final parts of the run course today, just checking that shoulder one final time. He can't believe it. He's the Sunbelt Bakery Ironman 70.3 North American Championship, presented by McKee, a family bakery, and he can't believe it, Dee Dee, flat out on his back. And
Athletes, and here we have Matt Hansen, about a minute back. Great performance from him, coming on the heels of a really solid performance at the Ironman World Championship just a week ago.
Yep, just a week ago, it was a couple of weeks ago, and I look at this and just say, what an incredible result for Matty Hansen. You know, people said that, maybe it's not the right thing to do, but Matt knows he's in control of his body in the second place today, and the run by two better runners on the day. But he has broken away from Jackson Laundry, who's hung him out to dry there, and this is Rudy Von Berg from the United States collecting third place across the line. And it went to Jason West in these hot and humid conditions. What a great race it was for him. In second place, it was Matty Hansen bringing it home with a 109.59. So right on a 70-minute, 13-mile half marathon run there. Rudy Von Berg was a 111.51 on the run in third place. Jackson Laundry slowed just a little bit and was only just behind Rudy Von Berg today. And Stephen McKenna rounding out the top five there, Dee Dee. So that was good for the Australian, you know, after a pretty solid bike.